Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a discussion today. You guys are going to love this one. The insanity of the Pokemon market continues. And we're going to have a little bit of discussion about said insanity. We're going to talk about this card right here. Check your closets. This card went from $40 in a PSA 10 last year to $600 in a PSA 10. Celebrations going absolutely wild. And I want to start this video off by showing you guys something we have been saving for this moment. And on this channel, seeing that card is that expensive, we might be going on a Pikachu chase very soon. So we'll see what happens on this channel, guys. We'll see where the price of the Pikachu goes here very soon. And yeah, if it still stays at the 600 for PSA 10s, we are going to be chasing them and opening up some boxes. So we'll see what happens. These are the boxes that contain the card. I was saying to pick these up, but they weren't bad plays. Still pick them up if you can find these cheap, guys. These are getting old. They're getting harder to find. Yeah, and so anyway, we're going to discuss this. A lot of you are running to your closets like, oh my god, I have 5 or 6 of these. Why are they $600? They're so easy to pull. Well, we're going to have the discussion on the gem rate. The gem rate is 5%, which was really bad. I didn't realize how terrible the quality was until you go to your collection, you pull out the card, and you say, oh my god, I got it. We're good. Well, guess what? You check the back, and we'll zoom in a little bit on mine. You guys might not be able to see it. But anyway, there's like whitening down the whole side of this corner. So it would not grade a 10. You know, it's kind of funny. Wow. You know, it matters about condition. It's so funny, you know, that we all, 3 years ago, we all looked back, we found our base set Charizards and thought, oh, they're worth, $10,000. Oh my God. And then you look at the condition and the back scratched up and it's only like a $200 card, $300 card. And no one really even wants it. It's kind of trash. So, yeah, that's why I say on this channel, when you're buying your cards, to make sure they're in absolutely perfect condition, like this Mew. There's nothing wrong with it. It's ready for grading. It's in its sleeve. It's in its protective case. This Lugia as well in its protective case. Speaking of Lugia, the guy Funk that watches my videos, do not sell your CGC 10 Lugia. That's almost as good as a PSA anyway. Don't care what the market says. Continue to hold that card. It's going to be at least $1,000. Do not sell any of your Lugia Vs at all. That is a must to not sell this card. And we're going to break it into the next part of this video, guys, is the singles market that a lot of you are afraid of, and discussing why important plays with singles might be a huge deal here. Now, why is this card going up? Well, because a lot of people didn't save it. They didn't keep it in their collections. And, it's like this one, where it's not perfect and it won't grade a 10. So, yeah, fuck this, right back to the floor it goes. So anyway, the discussion on cards being undervalued. I think the birthday Pikachu from Celebrations is absolutely next. That, if you see birthday Pikachus, you should be swiping them up. They used to be extremely expensive back in the day, but for the Celebrations card, they're still expensive. The original birthday Pikachu is thousands. I don't even want to check the price of it now. It's probably crazy. But the Celebrations birthday Pikachu could easily have that same aura. I have a bunch of them stashed away. But I want to put this into perspective of why people invest in Pokemon to begin with. So there was a guy saying he bought 50 of those Pikachus and he graded them all. 30 of them came back 10s. So my man turned $500 into $15,000. If he sells them all at $500 a piece, which will happen. I mean, they're actually selling for this. I don't agree with it, but they're selling for that. I wouldn't buy them, but they are selling for $500 to $600. So now you ask yourself, if you have Celebrations laying around, should I chase it? Hell, not a bad idea. Honestly, when you open up one of these, you literally could have gotten usually about 1 Pikachu per 4 packs. You usually pull out 1 Pikachu out of these pretty regularly. Well, it wasn't really like that difficult, but it might not be in perfect condition. So I don't know. On this channel, we might be doing a 43 box Celebrations opening. I have to decide if I just want to continue to hold the sealed or if I just want to rip it open like a madman and see if we can pull some Pikachus. I might rip like 2 or 3 boxes and see what happens. So financially, if it makes sense, we're probably going to do it on this channel. So that might be interesting. I'm not promising you guys anything at all. We never really do. So fuck you guys. No, I'm just fucking with you. But yeah, so we might be ripping a ton of celebrations. I'm not sure yet. Still thinking about it. But I do want to get to the next point of if a card like that, a $3 card raw, that Pikachu, is 600 in a PSA 10, you don't think a card like Leafeon right now in a PSA 10 will be, you know, $800-900? You don't think a lot of these singles are probably undervalued that are alt arts? And especially when you start to consider how expensive it is to even open this product up now. You know, it's extremely expensive to rip Evolving Skies. It's extremely expensive to rip Fusion Strike. You know, like these alt arts in PSA 10 gem mint condition, I think are going to be massive collector's items, just like all of mine, especially when they're sequential like that. I think that's going to be a gold mine in the future. That's why I stay in that position, and I will not ever sell. Probably never. Next thing that we're going to discuss is Mason from Cardinal Gaming. He actually said, had a video he released today saying none of us are Rudy. Well, I beg to differ. I think I'm actually probably sort of Rudy. Not that I throw all my money into cardboard, because I mean that's not my case, but I'm not sure if I have Rudy level money, but probably pretty damn close. But either way, that's besides the point. Either way, Mason said, you know, well, if you put your money like let's say $3,000 in a Lost Origins case, like I've been saying to do, then it lays around for like 6 months, you know, and doesn't go up, your money's kind of dead. Well, I tend to disagree, because, you know, he talks shit on Rudy's analogy of Ancient Origins whenever he had the Ancient Origins Pokemon bathroom. And look at Ancient Origins now. If you just waited like the 5 to 10 years it needed, Ancient Origins is now $5,500 a box. So just like Lost Origin, if you wait 5 to 10 years, you're going to probably see Lost Origin be, you know, a $2,000-3,000 box. And it's not that far, you know, of a stretch. I mean, you're already seeing this stuff happen with celebrations. You know, one of the worst sets that none of us really wanted to admit was actually good is now maturing into a beautiful investment. And that is why I haven't sold any of my celebrations. I've just kind of continued to leave it there. And yeah, so I think, you know, you'll see the same thing happen with Evolving Skies, where it's going to get extremely, extremely, extremely expensive. And, you know, it's pretty much just like buy anything. But I will say that with 151, I would still be very cautious, because, yeah, like it may seem like it's maybe going to be like the next Celebrations level move, but I don't know. Like, I still just think you got a hell of a gain from it, and you should probably just cash and go to Prismatic or, you know, but we'll have to do a comparison like a year from now to like what Prismatic does in like 2 years, we'll say, compared to 151 in 2 years. That's going to be a good one. We're going to compare on this channel in 2 years, if I still have a channel, what Evolving Skies does, what 151 does, and what Prismatic does, and we're going to compare them all. But it gets to my next point, guys. Grading cards is such a play, you know, and people are starting to pay for mint copies. It's more of a thing. That's why I was telling you guys, I was one of the first people on this channel saying grab mint copies and keep them mint, and either grade them or at least leave them mint stashed away, so when you do need to grade them, they're there. And if you did that with Pikachus, you were buying them up at like $3 in perfect condition. They're there. They're now there and ready for you to grade them, so you can send them out. So when your cards go up, you're able to just send them out, go get them graded, and get big money. So anyway, hats off to any of you that bought the Pikachu, but I really think the Espeon, like this promo from Fusion Strike, is probably next to be a pretty big pumper, because it is a unique card. Only so many of these were printed with the Fusion Strike blisters. And yeah, I mean, honestly, there's not a shit ton of them around. So just some random plays to possibly think about doing. But I think Birthday Pikachu, guys, definitely one I would really consider. I think it's only $10 right now. If you can find mint copies, I don't think it's a bad idea to stash some of them away and just be prepared. Because like I said, you never know. But that's why I've also kept all my gem mint 10s, because it's just like, dude, if a Pikachu can hit $600, if you don't think these cards deserve to be $1,000, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's the same thing with the Gengar. Like, if you don't think this card deserves to be like more valuable than the Magikarp, bro, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I get the gem rates are lower, but just card quality wise, the Gengar is just so fucking iconic, you know. And same with the Giratina, same with the Blaziken from Chilling Reign and Lugia. I think everyone just sleeps on those, and I don't think long term they're bad pickups. They're just gonna tie up some of your money for a while, which is whatever, you know. Anyway, but it goes to show, you know, you just leave these boxes get old, man, and you know, you come back 5 years later and all of this stuff, like Unbroken Bonds, extremely expensive. Evolving Skies. Like, I have yet to get burn on Pokemon, ever. And there's stuff that I've bought and sold that I don't even say on this channel because I like to keep it a secret and no one really needs to know all of my moves. But, yeah, you know, like there's a lot of Sun and Moon product I've flipped through that I don't really talk about. And, you know, like Ancient Origins was just one example. But there were a lot of other Sun and Moon boxes that I bought and sold real quick and did some plays with. But the point is if you just fucking wait and you know, keep this stuff, you're going to do good. You know, like every time I look at Chilling Reign, man, I'm just like, this box is going to be massive. You know, like it really is. It's going to be massive. I really think at $400, you cannot go wrong with the Chilling box. Like I said, someday people will come around, and you know, I think the Pokemon market as a whole is just completely undervalued. Besides 151, I just think it's just so ridiculously overvalued for all the other stuff you could buy. But I think as a whole, it is just way undervalued, and you're going to see random weird cards like, you know, Lance's Charizard, Dark Sylveon. You're starting to see those go up. The Mew from 151, the Mewtwo. You're starting to see these kind of cards go up in value because they are unique. And that's why I was saying I really think the Celebrations Lance's Charizard boxes, you're going to be looking at like a $200 box soon. So if you're hoarding them and you've held on to them this long, you're doing good. You know, keep holding. You know, be patient. Let your investments mature. And yeah, that's pretty much everything we have for this video though. But yeah, Pikachu from Celebrations, man. Who would have thought? Let me know if any of you bought Pikachu from Celebrations and have graded a bunch of them at PSA 10. If you have, let me just get them all off you. Just give them to me. Like, geez, if you did, my hat's off to you, bro. You deserve your paper. You deserve your paper. Yeah, I'm kicking myself in the ass, but like I said, it's like the same thing as going and looking for your base set cards, you know, 3 years ago. Oh, where's that Pikachu? Oh, wait, it's in shit condition. Oh, fuck. Damn, it's only $3. Never mind. That's why it's important to keep your cards nice. Trust me, I've learned that lesson quite a few times. And I want to throw this out there with buying the Drowsy too, by the way. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Drowsy SIR. Now that it dropped down to like the $20 range, guys, I really don't think it's a bad idea to load up on a bunch of copies of Drowsy, dude. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't think that's bad money spent buying up all the mint copies you can possibly find. Even myself. Like, if you want to sell your Drowsy to me and it's pretty fucking mint, I will buy it right now for a market price. And I'll even give you a little bit extra for the mint copy. So, yeah, I only want mint ones, so I don't give a shit about your little PSA 9s and shit. So, anyway, that's just stuff I'm saying to buy on the channel. But, yeah. Anyway, that's all we have for this one. Yeah, I think that's all we have. Did I mention Mason bitching, saying none of us are Rudy? And he did like a case video in the background. Yeah, Mason, we know you're not Rudy either because you don't fucking heavily invest, really. But either way, Mason made a video saying that, and, you know, that none of us are Rudy. And, I mean, I don't think any of us really want to be. I mean, like, we'd all love to have all of his cases, but, like, I don't think any of us, like, try to be. It's just like we like the hobby, you know. And he mentioned how Rudy got burned a bunch of magic. Yeah, because he focuses energy to magic. Pokemon is just a unique thing in itself. That sealed really has no limits, you know. And even whenever I see like Team Up hit 10 grand, I'm like, you know, whoever's sitting on them, they're better off just sitting on them because it just has no limit. They just keep going up and up and up. you know. And that's why, like, Unbroken Bond's even back there. Like, I've wanted to sell it, but I know if I just keep holding, it will be, you know, $3 grand next year, $4 grand next year, $5 grand the next year, you know. So you just have to be patient, hold on to your items, and stay the course. But look for unique cards that people are sleeping on too, you know, and especially grading plays, Anything you can grade, um, you should pretty much be buying. If it looks mint, you should pretty much be buying it. You know, as far as like old arts go, you know, your singles go, any of your old arts, because like all of these old arts are going to dry up on the market, especially mint condition raw copies, and it's just going to be really more difficult to find tens. And you already find that out with the Gengar. Like I said, the Gengar I was telling you guys at 1250 was a good buy, and now you're at, you know, 1500 to 1800. So just throwing it out there. These cards are from 2021, which is wild to believe. 2021 was when these were graded. These were all graded back to back to back. Well, these were back to back, and the Gengar was 959. So the rest were 952, 953, and 959. So all these have been graded, and I personally think they're like sitting on a gold mine. That yeah, eventually people are gonna look back. I mean, these are now 4 years old, and yeah, they're going on that 5 year range, and I think we're going to see a lot of singles just blow up out of nowhere that people don't expect. And those are some of them, you know. And your Lugia V, like I said, another card that you're going to wish you bought a couple of these. I'm telling you, I have not sold mine. I bought this for $100. I'm never selling it. And I'm just so glad to at least have one in my collection. And if you bought one, you should look at it that way too. You shouldn't even look at it as an investment that I'm selling. You should look at it as something that I'm holding and never getting rid of. So, yeah, you know, don't sleep on the Lugia V. I'm just saying, it is extremely undervalued for how expensive it is to chase, especially ones in perfect condition. So it will all just be like, you know, base set, man. You'll look back at it in 10 years from now, and this market will be stronger than ever, because literally there's nothing else to do in the world besides smoke, fucking play video games, and collect Pokemon. So I don't ever see that changing in this world. So you're just going to continue to see prices surge on the older and older and older Pokemon stuff, and new people coming into the hobby wanting to spend money to get it. Anyway, that's all we have for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we're out.